Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And tonight we are here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 4, Kim Possible Endeavor. All right, let's talk about it. All right, you guys, so before I talk about it, let me just say this because it looks like I skipped last week's review of this because I guess I was going to drop it. There was only like 40 people that watched the last video, and I have just been getting very discouraged recently about the number of views, and my baby just told me again to keep going, so I'm going to keep going. But because I appreciate the 40 and the 20. I appreciate my sister, Treese, that watches every single video. She's like the first one to watch every single one. So I will keep going if just for her. I appreciate Miss Spade's lover, who I feel like gotta be a family member because she is on my team. So shout out to Miss Spade's lover because that's my girl. All right, so the episode picks up where it left off. They're at brunch for Destiny's birthday, and Tiffany has just opened her mouth, letting everyone know that yes, she indeed did know Destiny. Even though she lied to Mel and made it seem like she had no idea who she was, she couldn't wait to get there and say, "Oh yeah, I feel like your husband was cheating on you because this is what happened." That girl knew full well who Destiny was when she was invited there. Don't like Tiffany, you guys. Let me just go on and put that out there now. Don't like Tiffany at all. And I'm side-eyeing Mel. So my thing is, if you were genuine and you really weren't trying to upset this lady, why are you in the confessionals throwing so much shade at her? If you don't know her, you don't care about her, don't like her, dislike her, can take her or leave her or whatever, why are you throwing so much shade? Oh yeah, I didn't mean to come and make her cry on her birthday, and she got up being all dramatic. It wasn't even that serious. And if she felt like she needs to go to the bathroom and make herself feel better and cheer herself up, then oh well. You came there with an agenda. You knew exactly who she was. You knew exactly who Kimmy was. You watched the damn show. You know who these people are. And you came here to try to put on for TV, I guess. But, girlfriend, I don't like you. You guys, we have been watching these shows long enough to be able to tell when someone new comes in and says, okay, let me go in and make my mark. How do we know? Because they come in and try to just be messy for no good reason. Like, you didn't even wait for an opportunity to bring that up. You just brought it out for no good reason. That and the vaping. She's out here like LaToya on Real Housewives of Atlanta, just being messy for no reason whatsoever except to try to make a name. And that never works out well. So Destiny comes back to the table and she asks Tiffany, yeah, so this was years ago. Are you saying that me and the girl looked alike? And she's like, no, I don't know. The thing is, in business, you just see a man and a woman together and you just think they're together. And Melanie then says, oh, well, is he a cheater? Because if he's not a cheater, then it's nothing because it could have just been business. And my whole thing is, Melanie, you are her friend. Why are you sitting at this table with women and company? Because Tiffany is company. She doesn't belong there. Asking her about her marriage, and you're supposed to be her friend, and asking if her husband cheated. Melody, I swear I'm side-eyeing all of this. So, Destiny in her confessional says, I'm not Martell Holt and I don't have to justify my divorce to anyone. And she says some stuff about COVID and they didn't make it, yada, yada, yada. He probably was a cheater, whatever. Okay, so Tiffany walks away and goes to the restroom with leopard skin dress girl, and they leave. She leaves Destiny, Kimmy, and Melody at the table, and they're talking, and Kimmy saying, listen, people tell me I look like you all the time, and I'm just looking at her like, don't say it was me. So they're laughing, and then Melody's like, I just knew you guys were gonna hit it off. And to me, it was, I don't know, y'all, I'm side-eyeing Melody and the way she's moving. I'm sorry. It just didn't seem genuine, like she wanted them to hit it off. It seemed kind of like she was jealous of the fact that they're hitting it off. And Kimmy is saying, yeah, this is my girl. You know, I really like her. That's my sister from another mister. And I don't know. It just seems like Melody is moving real funny. Okay, so now we have Tasha and Marcel, and Marcel finally makes it to the hotel. Tasha is there with a cocktail waiting. She has on her sexy little lingerie and heels, and he's like, oh, look at you. And then he comes in and he's like down to business. She sits on his lap and he's still talking about business. She's like, geez, look at all of this. And all you got to talk about is work. And he's like, yeah, we got to make sure we got it though. We need 100 bottles of the chocolate wine or champagne, whatever it is. We need to make sure that's on deck. And then they get to talking about Tasha having two stylists, and Marcel wants to talk to one of them just to make sure that they're fiscally responsible. And she shows how insecure she is with the whole, now you don't need to talk to nobody. You don't need to talk to nobody. You can talk to me. And I'm like, girl, don't nobody want Marcel. Calm down. But anyway, he wasn't thinking about her and her little lingerie. Okay, so we go over to Kimmy and Maurice, and she's like, listen, let me tell you what happened. I ain't never heard Kimmy get that loud. And she was telling what Tiffany said. And he's like, I don't even know them people like that. And he says, let me tell you, this Tiffany don't sound like somebody I'm going to like. So long story short, he did know about Monster vaping. However, he didn't like the fact that she brought it up because it made his son sound like a deviant. He's like, listen, he ain't never been no troublemaker. He ain't never gotten in trouble in school. You know, his grades aren't the best, but he's not a troublemaker. So, yeah, there's an issue, or there's going to be an issue with Maurice and Tiffany, and I can't wait. So in this scene, we get to learn a little bit more about Maurice and the fact that he's coming off like an asshole. He really is. Like, anything that Kimmy is saying to him, he has an answer for. He reminds me of my ex, I swear to God, where Kimmy is not, she doesn't come off like she's afraid of him. She doesn't come off like she, is scared to tell him anything, but it's just like, why? What's the point of it? Because he's going to have an answer for everything, and there's just no talking to him. He just doesn't listen. So you just be like, there's no point. There's absolutely no point. So she's telling him that, he's being unbalanced, and the fact that he needs to spend more time with Monster. And you don't know the type of time I spend with Monster, and why are you making it seem like I never spend time with Monster? And she said, I didn't say that. I said you need to spend more time. Well, I am a working man, and I work hard, and sometimes it's going to be imbalanced. And she's like, yeah, I know. It's been imbalanced since we've been together, and I'm used to it. I'm just saying, get it together for your son. And he got answers again. It's going to be imbalanced at some point because I have to work. I have to do this. And I'm like, there's no talking to this man. I swear to God. So Marcel and Tasha meet up with his Uncle Mike and Aunt Linda and have dinner. And they're talking about how Tasha's saying how, it's almost their 15-year anniversary and she's trying to get him to do something. And he says, listen, year 15 is going to be a year of reflection. And it was so funny because his uncle looked up over his glasses right at Tasha like, did you hear that? He ain't doing nothing. And yeah, he's just like, I got nothing but love for you. So his Aunt Linda says, didn't you guys do something for your 10-year anniversary? And he's like, yeah, and 11 and 12. And they're like, we do something every year. And Tasha said, well, hopefully by our 20th, we'll be renewing our vows at our new home. And Uncle Mike says, yeah, hopefully the home will be done before you guys make it to your 20 year. So that was basically their way of talking about or bringing up the project, because Uncle Mike is, I'm guessing, the project manager or something over the whole thing. Actually, he is. I remember him saying it, I think, on the first or second episode. And Uncle Mike was just like, listen, I sent you an email. And Marcel was like, yeah, you were kind of mad at me in that email. And he's like, no, I was just, just saying. And Marcel was saying, look, basically, if you are the project manager, then all these people that you have are your vendors. And if your vendors are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's on you. And I agree. Sorry, but I do. If you are the manager in charge, then everything falls on you. So if people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you hold their feet to the fire, or else your feet will be held to the fire. Period. Then they get in the back and forth about who's holding up the project, Tasha's closet or the garage. No big deal. Aunt Linda asked, so is Maurice and Kimmy going to use Uncle Mike too for their part of the project? And my whole thing is, Kimmy says she's not moving on Scott Manor. So what are they talking about? Like, Maurice basically has made up his mind that they are going to eventually move there because everyone is talking like he's going to move there. And listen, Maurice and Kimmy, I don't know about them, you guys. I don't know. Maurice is really showing that he's not as nice as I thought he was. So Kimmy and her son Jalen go over to his condo that he just closed on, and she's saying how now they have a project to do together because they're going to renovate everything. She's telling him what's needed, and then she tells him, listen, so you're going to have to take a couple days and do this and that. And he's like, yo, I don't have a couple days. And she's like, your off days? He's saying he doesn't have any off days. And she's like, well, tell Marcel what you need. And he's like, I've been telling him what I need. I've been telling him I need days off. So apparently, when he got the job as general manager, Marcel told him that he would have a percentage of ownership, and they never really solidified exactly how much that would be. And she's thinking that's an issue as well. And then she says, listen, no one that knows Marcel, none of us thought that you were going to get like all of this training. We did not think he was going to do that for you, unfortunately. But we thought he would help out some. And he's like, yeah, no. Before they went out of town, he's telling me, I'm going to leave you alone. And she's like, you've been left alone there all the time. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then Tasha calls me once she makes it out of town with the same stuff. And he's saying how they go back and forth with Marcel will tell him to do something a certain way, and then Tasha will tell him to do it a different way. And Kimmy's just like, it's like they're setting you up for failure. They're not on the same page. And listen, I would hate to work for them. Like, she's dumber than a box of rocks, even though she has school training. She just doesn't have common sense or sense. And Marcel is just an ass. So, poor thing. I don't see that working out too much longer at all. Yeah. So then they get to talking about the fact that they're about to hire an assistant GM that's going to train him. And I'm like, I hate that. The fact that there's bosses that don't know what the heck they're doing and people under them that has to show them what to do. I cannot stand that crap. But, oh well. And it sounds like she's somebody that he's already worked with before. And he was younger and she was his boss then. And now he's her boss, but she's going to be teaching him still. I don't know how this is going to work out. I really don't, but we'll see. And then they get into the talk about Destiny. He says Destiny isn't his type and he's the cougar tamer, yada, yada, yada. But, it's good to see his personality. All right, so we're at the Black Champagne opening or launch or something. And Nephew Tommy is there and he's brought the Ready to Love cast. So we see all the guys and some of the girls. We see Kyra. But we also see Marcel running around, talking to everybody. He's smoozing it up. He's kissing everybody, taking pictures. And Tasha is trying to mingle. However, she has a bird's eye view. No, eagle. She's watching him like a hawk. Lord, I was just all over the map, you guys. And I'm not even going to take that out. But yeah, she's watching him like a hawk. And she eventually goes over when he starts talking to Kyra. And I'm like, girl, yeah, get him away from Kyra. And they go out on the balcony and talk. And you guys, was Tasha crying? Please tell me this girl was not crying. Because I'm about to be really, really irritated if this girl was crying. So yeah, y'all, I just watched it back. They were on their balcony arguing because she was telling him about her having to get him from the red dress. Then she starts crying. And then the mic comes back in and you hear him say, you know what my thing is with you? And the mic cuts and they cut out. And I'm like, he didn't say something to make her cry. Marcel do be like playing it up, like all that stuff he was doing in the confessional. Oh, I just need to make everybody feel comfortable leaving home and doing it. He knows that she's insecure and he plays on that. But for her to be standing there crying, I mean, I guess I don't know what he said to her, but I still ain't finna be crying. Later, fam. So the episode basically ends with Maurice and Kimmy sitting down for lunch or whatever, waiting for Kaiwa and her husband to show up. Maurice keeps talking about how he got to get to this meeting, and he's like, you can just tell him. She's like, no, I'm not talking for you. I'm not doing any of that. And she's like, you were the one saying it's a good thing that her husband is going to be here, and now you're the one that's not going to be here. And literally, he got up and I guess I don't know if he left. She was boxing up his stuff. So I don't know if he left or if he just went to the bathroom and then his ex and her husband came in and there's just like the stare down and a hello and then to be continued. I think they kind of playing us where Maurice went to the restroom. Ain't no way he left his wife there to deal with both of them. That would be so shitty. Anyway, you guys, that's the end of the episode. If you are still here with me, you are my MVP. Thank you very much. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload. Thank you again, and I will see you guys soon for the next video. Smooches!